Guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you do end up liking this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Anyway, 2006 Yukon XL. We are just doing an oil change today. Today, here are the required tools. We have a 15mm ratchet socket and a oil filter wrench. We have 5 quarts of 5W30. I'm using the high mileage because this vehicle has about 12,000 miles on it now. Regular oil changes do wonders. Oil's cheap, well, relatively. Motors are not. And it looks like this is the O'Reilly's brand 1042. Napa also uses their brand is a number 1042 also for this vehicle. Okay, let's get to it. And of course, a drain pan is required. Otherwise, you're gonna have a mess. Yeah, we're gonna get to that oil change, I promise. But how about a little contest? I don't know what the winner will get. Maybe a round of applause. How about that? 2006 Yukon, 212,000 miles on it. I go 3,000 miles between oil changes on conventional oil, sometimes 2,000. This one I did go out to 3,000. Some of my vehicles I do run full synthetic, but I only go to 5,000 tops on that. This 10,000 mile stuff, I don't know. If you buy into that, I don't. But anyway, how about a contest? How much oil is going to come out of this vehicle? 5 quarts is going to go in. How much is going to come out? And I will show you exactly how we're going to know that down to the, let's call it the ounce. All right, stay tuned. Safety. I'm not using jacks, so the only thing that I'm worried about, because I am using the Rams homemade again. I'll show you how to make those if you want. But I just want to make sure that the vehicle doesn't roll. I am on a little bit of a hill here, but anyway, always think safety. Safety first. Okay, about 4 feet back from the front of the vehicle is the drain plug facing backwards in the bottom of the oil pan. We'll loosen that up. We'll put the drain pan underneath and we'll let that drain. The oil filter is right next to it. We'll take that out and we'll be right back. Oil is drained out for the most part. I'll let it drip here for a little bit. And we'll put the plug back in, checking that the gasket is on the plug. And then the oil filter wrench is on that right now. It is the, I guess that's considered the medium size. If you don't have one, just when you pick up your parts, your oil filter, just ask them for the right wrench. They're relatively cheap, and you can save yourself some money by doing it yourself. And again, you know it's done right. So the next thing I'm going to do is put the plug in once it's done dripping, and then I'm going to move the pan over underneath the filter and then slowly loosen that. It'll start to drain out, and then once it stops draining out, there'll still be oil in the filter, but I will carefully lift that off and then pour the rest of the filter into the drain pan. Okay, let's get on that. One of the noteworthy item, the drain plug has a magnetic pickup on the bottom, so on the end of it, so you can check to see if there's any metal shavings on that. First sign that there's something could be going wrong with your engine. This one was clean. The new filter, while that old one is draining, the new filter has a gasket on it. And when you put it on, you want to put some oil on that. Some of the you can use some of that old oil. Lube that up a little bit, and then when you take the old one off, make sure the old one has its gasket on, because if it doesn't, well, one of two things happened, and it's probably the latter. Either you put it on without a gasket, not very likely because it would leak badly, but I've had them where you take off the old filter and the gasket sticks, comes off the filter and sticks to the housing on the motor. And then you go ahead and you put your new filter on, and it also leaks very badly. So anyway, you're gonna lube the new filter up, and then you're gonna check to make sure the old filter has its gasket on it when you take it out. It is interesting, the directions up here to looks like number 1 is removing the old filter. Number 2 is oiling the new filter gasket, as I said. Number 3, you're gonna screw it on, and it looks like it's telling you that when the gasket first touches the engine, you go another 3/4 of a turn. I don't know, maybe somebody can decipher what that the wrong step is, maybe using a tool to tighten it. So it's just hand tightened and then recycle, I guess. So anyway, what was you? That's what I think it's telling you. That makes sense on how I've always put on filters. So you need the tool to take it off usually, but hand tighten going on. 3/4 of a turn after it makes contact with the engine. All right. And one thing I've switched to, I used to have a couple of 5-gallon containers that I put used oil in. And I do have a few vehicles, oil changes, whatever, lawnmowers. So my oil does add up. But what I've been doing lately, at least with the vehicles, I'll take the old oil and put it right back into the same container, and then I just take that into the parts store, and they dump it and recycle it for me. Plus, I know how much oil my vehicle's using by how many quarts go back in. I know I put 5 quarts in it, so let's see what it comes out, the old oil, how much I used. Okay, and this is how we know the answer. We are going in and taking a look. We have liters on the right. Let's see, gallon quarts on the left. Looks like 4.5. Let's call that, we'll call the winner 4.7 quarts came out of the old Yukon. All right, who won? Hey, if you're still watching this, I appreciate it. You made it to the end. Please let me know if you liked the video, if you didn't like the video. I know there's room for improvement. I'm working on it, but I hope it helped you out. Thanks a lot, and please take care.